All right, Alec, what's going on?
It's going good. It's very warm in this room right now,
Yeah.
and I'm feeling some emotions because we just talked about Hamilton, so I'm getting all that washed over me. So we got to cleanse it with some comedy.
Well, Hamilton's got some comedy to
It
it,
does. It's got really good comedy, but
and it is historical. And today we're
yes,
going to be watching Epic Rap Battles of History,
we are.
which I've seen them all. Alec has not, but he does know some history.
I do. I do know some history. I did study it in college. It was my
Right?
favorite
So
subject.
this will be the perfect
Major with it.
matchup for you right here.
Was it? Oh, why is that?
This one is Doc Brown versus Doctor Who.
It's funny you should mention that because I love both of these source materials.
Both are very
This is-
not history at the same
They're
time.
very, very much not history, but I actually just recently rewatched Back to the Future, just about a month or two ago. It was right before I moved. I basically watched all of them, and so good. Have you ever seen them?
What?
The Back to the Future trilogy?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
Big
I was gonna
fan.
check because it was like we should go through this sometime if you haven't. But
Let's
Doctor
still go
Who.
through 'em.
We could still because they're great. Doctor Who is also. I'm not as big a fan as I used to be, and despite what you may think, it has nothing to do with the fact that the Doctor is a woman now. I actually
Yikes.
very much like her as the Doctor, but I think that the writing is just the worst thing I've ever seen. It's
Interesting.
it's very frustrating to me because I want to like it, but I have a hard time coming around to it these days. So the last season, I'm like, I don't know if I can keep watching this anymore. But I'm a very, very big fan of basically everything in the reboot. Basically, I would say seasons 1 through 10 series 1 through 10 on board for the whole thing. I absolutely love Doctor Who. I kind of want to rewatch it again now that I'm talking about it.
I've only seen, so my experience, I've only seen the first two Doctors. I'm not even all the way through the second Doctor yet. So, of like
So
the new
so
series.
ninth and 10th
Yeah.
then. So it'd be Eccleston and Tennant.
Yeah,
So yeah.
those are
Okay.
the ones I have experience with.
So Matt Smith is actually my favorite. So you haven't even gotten to his stuff yet. Yeah, he's my favorite one of the
Good.
reboot.
Like I haven't just gotten around to it at all recently. I don't know what's
It's
up.
fair. I mean, it's time consuming. So we only have so much time.
So who are you rooting for, Doc Brown versus Doctor Who?
This is real tough. I think Doctor Who has a distinct advantage because he has different people. He is different people, multiple different iterations of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of rooting for Doc Brown. Not gonna lie. I think he's got a lot to live up to with an alien. So
Right.
let's bring it for the humans.
Okay. So let's go. Let's watch it.
All right. Already, it's good.
Ooh, actually, if you don't mind, it's just the doctor. Doesn't even really matter who. Who am I even talking to? Oh, yes, you, the wannabe Einstein, mad as the star. Travels through time, but with no clout. Saving the world while you dilly-dally. You can't even invent your way out of Hill Valley. Calm down, will you? Everything is going to be fine. You're not gonna tear any wonky holes in any fabric of space and time. Actually, it's a lot more like a rug, really. Oh, but never mind. Let's just say there's an infinite number of me simultaneously kicking your ass with rhyme.
Great Scott, you're great! Not! A spinning
Yeah.
pod can generate way more power than 1.21 gigawatts! I'm not sure what sort of scientific authority you purport to be, but I'm a real doctor! Where'd you get your degree? Despite all your companions, you couldn't be having less sex! I don't know which lame are your fans! Special effects! You don't get another turn to debate! Time to face your permanent fate! Now, lick my balls!
Going to die. This version of me. Perhaps you'd like another. Prepare to meet your density. I'm a mystical medical talker. Form. You're a possibly pedophilic individual who should have never been born. You got your niggas in a twist where you're sucking on my Piccadilly, but I'm a lot different. Cause you're a pitiful hillbilly hanging with an edible kid who's a buck chicken.
Nobody calls me chicken. Listen, Scarfy, don't try to outrhyme me, you'll find I'm as grimy as any slimy time, limey. I'll use your porta-potty time machine as my latrine. You're not a cat with 9 lives, you're a pussy with 13! Hold on! Holster! You decide!
Damn.
Doc Brown! Forces! Doctor
Actually, if you don't mind, it's just the doctor.
Awesome.
What do you think?
I think Doc Brown brought it home, man.
Really?
I think you did. I think you did. I think you did. I was feeling it. I did like they chose the Fourth Doctor, which is cool. He's probably of the old version, before the reboot, pre-reboot Doctor. The Fourth Doctor is probably the most popular. He was the one my dad's favorite, and because my dad watched a lot of old Doctor Who in college and seminary, so yeah.
Okay.
And I like him too, but
All right.
not
So
as.
let's break it down line by line.
Let's do it.
Actually, if you don't mind, it's just the doctor. It doesn't even really matter who. Who am I even talking to? Oh, yes, you. So that was a common thing where people just call him the doctor, right?
Yes.
And that's how the joke started, right? Doctor Who.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm the Doctor. So it's like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
No, just the Doctor.
I want to be Einstein minus a stash. Travels through time but with no class. I'm saving the world while you dilly-dally. You can't even invent a way out of Hill Valley. That's true.
All the movies, yeah, they all take place in Hill Valley.
It's a much smaller scope because, like, obviously they're both people that have Doc in their name and they're both time traveling.
Yeah.
It's like a much larger scale of time traveling. Doctor
Yeah.
Who.
Because it's time and space, whereas with Doc Brown it's just time. He's still in the same space.
And calm down, will you? Everything's going to be fine. You're not going to tear any wonky holes in any fabric of space and time. Actually, it's a lot more like a rug, really. Oh, never mind. Let's just say there's an infinite number of me simultaneously kicking your ass with rhyme.
That's a really good line, though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a really good line. I like that.
Because, yeah, that's like the two. That's just the two types of time traveling right there, right?
Yeah.
Great Scott, you're great. Not. I spit it hot and generate way more power than 1.21 gigawatts. I haven't watched Back to the Future in a long time. It like feels so long ago to me, but the 1.21 gigawatts, iconic.
Yes, that's how much energy is needed to power the flux capacitor.
And you love to say "Great Scott" a lot.
Mhm.
That's his catchphrase.
Great Scott.
I'm not sure what sort of scientific authority you purport to be, but I'm a real doctor. Where did you get your degree? Despite all of your companions, you couldn't be having less sex. I don't know what's lamer, your fans or your special effects.
Whovians, all right. Whovians are an eccentric bunch for sure. And yeah, the Doctor never really doesn't really get it on with any of his companions, which there's a lot of teasing, a lot of nodding towards that, but that doesn't happen with any sort of frequency. But maybe not with the companions, but the Doctor does definitely, he can romance them sometimes.
I haven't watched enough, clearly. But yeah, I don't know what, like, because there's always like it seemed like a love interest thing.
Yes.
But then are they just not sexual? Not sexual species, or is that?
No, they definitely 100% are.
Okay.
But he well, I mean, first I would love to go into more detail about it, but you haven't seen it, and I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, but now I know he's not going to have sex with any of his companions, so.
Well, I didn't say that.
Yeah, but despite all, you couldn't be having less sex. I mean, they said it. Are they lying?
Well, I mean, it's okay. Here's the thing: Doctor Who was originally a show for children. It was supposed to be an educational program originally, it kind of took a sci-fi edge as it sort of developed and blah blah blah. But even now, there's still, I would say, the vast majority of episodes are very family friendly. For the most part, there's some that are probably a little scary for younger viewers, but I would say for the most part, Doctor Who is still family viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely is more complicated, which I think it's supposed to be, which gears it more towards people of our generation who can sort of follow the sort of through lines of plots and such. But basically, the minute by minute is there's nothing in it that's overly offensive or too sexy for the chillins. So
okay.
But
I don't know what's lamer, your fans or your special effects, because Doctor Who's known, at least in early Doctor Who, is really bad special effects. I don't know what it's like now. I'm assuming
it's definitely better. But yeah, the special effects, even in the 70s, they were like, in the 60s and 70s, they were like, yeah, they're okay, I guess. I mean, it was TV. It was a shoestring budget basically, so they had to do what they could. And I mean, even the newer Who, yeah, particularly the first few seasons are pretty rough in special effects. Definitely.
You don't get another turn to debate. Time to face your permanent fate. Now, Dalek my balls. Exterminate. I'm going to die. At least this version of me. Perhaps you'd like another. Prepare to meet your density. So what is that a reference to?
That's George McFly, is his confession to. He was supposed to be saying, "You're my destiny." He's like, "Yeah, girls love that stuff." So Marty was telling George, he's like, "Yeah, girls love that stuff. You're my destiny, whatever." And so he goes to her. He's like,
"Oh yeah.
You're my density." Oh, I mean, my destiny.
All right.
What a wonderful movie. You're my density.
All right, the fourth Doctor comes in. I'm a mystical medical doc at the pinnacle shifting my physical form. You're a possibly pedophilic individual who should have never been born. You got your knickers in a twist while you're sucking on my Piccadilly, but I'm a lot different, because you're a pitiful hillbilly hanging with an edible kid who's a bok chicken.
Don't call me chicken.
So, anything in there? Is there any references in there?
I don't really get the. I'm trying to think of, like, why is Doc Brown pedophilic? Because he's hanging around with Marty McFly?
As a kid, yeah.
Okay. Sure, I mean, I guess.
Probably nothing more there.
Yeah.
He hangs out with a high school boy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of that those lines are fast, so I was like, I don't know. What am I missing something? I think I'm probably missing something.
Like, it seems to surface level, but maybe that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Piccadilly Press was the publishing house responsible for the printing and distribution of several Doctor Who reference novels in the UK.
Okay. My dad might have known that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's really much anything else in there.
Mm.
Hanging with an edible kid. I didn't even realize he said that, because he had the hots for his mom when he went back in time.
Mm.
This is between us, Scarfy. Don't try to outrhyme me. You'll find I'm as grimy as any slimy time limey. I'll use your porta potty time machine as my latrine. You're not a pussy. You're not a cat with 9 lives. You're a pussy with 13.
I also want to correct you. It was his mom had the hots for him, not the other way around.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, the Doctor has 13 regenerations. So, or 12 regenerations, which means he can have 13 lives.
Interesting.
Basically, yeah.
Slimy time limey. That's isn't that a thing?
Well, there's wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Okay.
There's that, which was kind of like, sort of referenced by him earlier too. Mm-hmm. Which was like, I don't know why he was talking about it being a rug. I don't really remember that. He might have tried to explain it that way too. But he was like, I don't remember the line. It's from the episode Blink, but it's basically that, like, we often think of time in a linear fashion, but the truth of the matter is that time is actually more like a more like a wibbly wobbly, a ball of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in regards to the to the rug. They just say that the Doctor frequently tries to make graspable comparisons to relate the concept of time to
Yeah.
companions, and then ends up giving up
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not that much here, in like terms of a lot of substance and references. You know, I feel like they could have done more.
I feel like I agree. I feel like they could have done more. There's some. I think it's enough to make it kind of fun, but
it's like very,
it's interesting.
very surface level. Like, you know, you could get it if you don't really know either character, I guess.
The Piccadilly Press one, that was pretty deep. I didn't know that.
Deep, but it's
But it's also kind of
like
like, yeah, it's also. I was also gonna say, but that's also like terrible.
like, Piccadilly. Oh,
Yeah.
Piccadilly Press. So you say Doc Brown won?
I still would say that. I think he gets the edge.
Neither
personally.
of them are really super strong.
No.
So next time we'll come back.
Wait, what about you? Who did you say once?
I don't know. I would say probably it's pretty even. I would say maybe Doc Brown too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because the Doctor did have, I think, one of the better verses. His beginning, the first verse, you know.
Yeah.
Where he's like, just the way he delivered it was good too. And he's like, calm down, everything is going to be fine. You're not going to tear any wonky holes in any fabric, space, and time.
Yeah.
Like that.
That was fun. Yeah.
All right, next time we'll check out another one, and it could be anything. We're watching them in order, so you won't know which one's coming next. It could be historical, could be any realm of pop culture.
That seems like what it's been mostly.
Yeah. All right, thank you for watching. What videos should they check out if they're watching this and want to check out another one of our great videos?
One of our great videos. You should go look at our review of The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, of course.
Haunting of Hill House. You know, there's
a lot of overlap between
lot of
Doctor
overlap,
Who fans and Back to the Future fans.
Yeah, lots of overlap there. Yeah, solid production. Yeah.
It's just quality entertainment is the key thing there.
Yeah.
All right, so check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.